Today's video is a Mediterranean diet, what I eat in a day, featuring breakfast, lunch, and dinner recipes from Mediterranean Living's meal plan. I am partnering with Mediterranean Living on this video, but more on that later. Let's just dive right into breakfast now. One of the breakfast recipes featured in Mediterranean Living's meal and menu plan is the Lebanese bulgur breakfast cereal. Bulgur is a wheat and an ancient grain, and you cook it up just like you would any other grain. It's a lot more nutrient dense in lots of vitamins and minerals. It's also more dense in protein and fiber, and those are things that are really important to me, especially at breakfast. Keeps me full throughout the morning and throughout the day. I am gluten-free, so I'm actually following this recipe to a T, other than I am swapping out bulgur for buckwheat. Although wheat is in the name, it is actually not a wheat product. It's actually a seed, so therefore gluten-free. And it can be used interchangeably with bulgur or any other breakfast grain. I'm using cream of buckwheat. I've got 1/4 of a cup in my bowl, and it's really quick and easy to make it in the microwave, so that's what I'm gonna do this morning, but you can also cook it over the stove. I'm going to add a pinch of salt. Even though this is going to be a slightly sweet breakfast, you still want to add salt anytime you're cooking grains, because it just brings out their flavor and it actually enhances the sweetness of the other ingredients we're going to be adding. So don't forget a pinch of salt. Any type of porridge I'm making, I like to be nice and thick, so just under 3/4 of a cup of water. Give that a quick stir. I'm going to go in the microwave for about a minute, 30 seconds. Now we've got our cooked buckwheat. It's time to add all the stuff that's going to make it taste really, really good. So we are going to sweeten it up with 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. You could also use honey. A splash of milk. I'm just using an unsweetened almond milk. Several dashes of cinnamon. Give that a big stir. Cinnamon, when it hits the hot buckwheat, oh my gosh, so good. It smells like dessert. Okay, for the traditional Lebanese bulgur cereal, we're gonna top with some fruit and some nuts. I am using a combination of wild blueberries and some pomegranate seeds. I just love the color combo, and I love how the pomegranate seeds are like little gemstones. They're like little rubies, and they're just so pretty and they taste so good. Pop those right on top. Using some pecans. I'm going to put those right on top. I heard the other day that, and it was from a doctor, they said that pecans are actually the nut with the highest antioxidant level. And I did not know that. Fact check me. I'm getting some really high dose of antioxidants, hopefully, from these pecans. I actually just prefer them. I love their flavor. I have some plain whole milk yogurt here. I'm just gonna add a dollop. Pop from the pomegranate and that buckwheat, just the perfect sweet, creamy, oh, just like a warm hug. It's a beautiful vehicle for all the nuts and the berries and the yogurt on top. Just that little bit of maple syrup really sweetened it up nicely. You really don't need any more than that. So, so good. The meals that I'm sharing today are examples of exclusive recipes that members receive in the Mediterranean Diet Membership Program by Mediterranean Living. As a member, you receive 3 meal plans every week, crafted by registered dietitians. 2 of the meal plans are modified for weight loss, and 1 meal plan is full of authentic Mediterranean diet recipes that are perfect for longevity and overall health. These meal plans have exclusive recipes for breakfast, lunch, and dinner planned for you for an entire week. Plus, you get a grocery shopping list that you just can print off or have on your phone and take right with you to the grocery store. And the recipes change every week, so you're always getting fresh new menu ideas. I cannot tell you how much time that would save me. They're doing the menu planning, the list making, all for you, and making sure that every meal is balanced and has all the nutrition that you need, thanks to the registered dietitians creating them. Membership also includes exclusive video content content that only members have access to, as well as a private Facebook group for members. And of course, there's customer support when needed. You can access this membership monthly for just $16.99 per month, or you can purchase an annual membership for $169.90. Therefore, you're getting 2 months free. First week that you sign up is completely free. So you get a chance to try it out and see what it's like and see if it's for you. All the information and links to sign up for the program will be listed right down below in the description box. And if you have any questions about the membership program, please leave them down below in the comments, and either I or Mediterranean Living will answer your questions. Let's move on to some lunch. Lunch today is a traditional vegetarian Israeli sandwich called a sabich. When you think of Israeli food, you may think of falafel. This is a lighter version made with roasted eggplant and hummus and a really beautiful fresh salad. This sandwich is delicious, stuffed inside a pita would be the most traditional way to enjoy it. I'm gonna use some gluten-free sourdough since I'm gluten-free, but use any type of bread or wrap that you prefer. First thing we need to do is to make the eggplant. I like to meal prep components for my meals for the week on the weekends to set myself up for success and make bringing meals together a little bit easier throughout the week. So when I got this meal plan, I saw that the eggplant needed to be roasted. Went ahead and did that, and I have the baked eggplant slices roasted here ready to go. Let me show you how I made them. Start by taking one large eggplant, and I'm going to slice it into about 1/3 of an inch rounds. Then you're going to place those eggplant rounds on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, and you're gonna want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. While the oven is preheating, go ahead and drizzle some olive oil over each of the eggplant slices, and then brush the olive oil across each side so that both sides of the eggplant rounds are coated with olive oil. Sprinkle the top side with a little bit of salt, and you'll throw it in the oven to bake for 20 to 25 minutes or until the eggplant is nice and tender and a little bit golden brown. Put it in a container once it was done and put it in the fridge lined with some paper towel just to absorb any excess moisture and keep it nice and fresh. I also pre-chopped all the vegetables for the Israeli salad, so I've got some chopped tomatoes as well as some cucumber, some red onion, and some parsley here in this container. So I went ahead and chopped it up. So to season the salad, all I'm gonna do is take a lemon. You may need 1/2 to a full lemon depending on how big your salad is and just how much lemon you like, but I'm just gonna squeeze that lemon right over the top. A little bit of salt just to bring out the flavor of the tomatoes and the cucumber and the onion. A little bit of pepper, and just give that a toss. Can set that aside. Now we pretty much have everything ready to go ahead and start building our sandwich, starting with 2 tablespoons of some prepared hummus, 2 generous tablespoons on one side of my bread. I'm going to add my eggplant slices. Eggplant is so delicious when it's baked. It has just this really meaty, hearty texture, especially when it's baked in olive oil with a little bit of salt. It's the only way I will eat eggplant. Just a little bit of the Israeli salad on top. I don't want to add too much so that the sandwich falls apart. I'm gonna eat the rest of it on the side. I have 2 little baby mini hard-boiled eggs. We get our eggs from a friend who has a flock of chickens, so they're nice, beautiful farm-raised eggs, but when you get your eggs that way, they come in lots of different shapes and sizes and colors, which is really fun. So sometimes we have really small eggs, sometimes we have like ginormous ones, so it's kind of fun. So I have 2 little baby ones, and I may just be able to fit 1 in the sandwich, and I'll save 1 on the side. Crack a pepper. Last but not least, I also prepped a tahini sauce. This is a lemon tahini sauce. Let me tell you how I made it. Start with, of course, some tahini, which is sesame seed paste, as well as some lemon juice, extra virgin olive oil, some garlic, and then you're going to add some water to get it to the desired consistency you want it to be. I just used my handheld immersion blender to blend it up, but you could do this in a food processor or a blender. And then I just stored it in the fridge for later. Take some of this tahini sauce, drizzle it right over the top. Another great addition to this recipe is to add Israeli pickles or regular pickles. I tried to get pickles from my grocery pickup and they were out of them, so I didn't get any pickles this week, but that would also be really, really delicious, especially if you like pickles. Ooh, look at that. Look at how pretty that is. Look at all the colors you can see in there. Here we go. That is so good. The freshness from the salad with the meatiness of the egg and the eggplant, that lemon tahini sauce just brightens everything up. I'm just finishing cutting up my boneless, skinless chicken breast for our dinner. And for dinner, I am making shish tawouk, a very traditional Middle Eastern recipe, so used a lot in Arab countries. And what it directly translates to is chicken skewers. So shish meaning skewer, tawouk meaning chicken. You can either make this into skewers and do it on the grill like the traditional way, or if it's just not grilling season, you can also bake it in the oven. So that's the variation I'm gonna go for today. Cutting my boneless, skinless chicken breasts into kind of like tender size pieces, about 1 inch thick. If you were going to put them on skewers, you would wanna do about 1.5 inch cubes. You want about at least 2 to 2.5 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken. You could also, if you really like dark meat, use boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Added my chicken to a bowl. So now it is time to clean up and we are going to make the marinade. This is one flavorful marinade. It has a lot of ingredients, but don't let that scare you away. It's super simple to prepare and put together. Everything into the blender to make the marinade. I'm gonna start by juicing 1 lemon. I always like to start, if I'm blending something, start with the liquid first at the bottom of the blender. I just find things blend better when the liquid is at the bottom. I was reading that shish tawouk is traditionally a meal that's, whoa, did you see all that lemon juice go everywhere? This is a juicy lemon. Shish tawouk is traditionally a dish that was like kind of like a family dish prepared on Sunday. So a special Sunday meal. I think it would be really nice for a Sunday dinner or a family dinner or a day that you just have a little extra time to prepare a meal. Of course, you can prep a lot of this ahead of time and have it ready to go on a weeknight. 1 tablespoon of vinegar. 1 cup of plain yogurt. So make sure it's not sweetened, just plain whole milk yogurt. 1 chopped onion. You can just roughly chop it because it's going to go right in the blender. Now we're going to add our spices. This is a spice blend of turmeric, coriander, cardamom, paprika, salt, and pepper. Those right in there. 5 cloves of fresh garlic. 1, 2, 3, or 1 more. Perfect. Mash each garlic clove to remove it from its skin. Sometimes it takes a few smashes. Get all your aggression out while you do it. And you just pop them each right in the blender. Last ingredient is 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. With that really intense, sweet, tomatoey flavor. I'm gonna go blend this up and then we will add it to our chicken. Ooh, oh, that smells really good. I'm gonna pour this over the chicken. Toss it around to make sure all the chicken is coated in the marinade. You want this to marinate for at least an hour or up to 6 hours for full flavor. Just gonna cover it with a lid and let's get this in the fridge. Additionally, it is served with a sauce called Tawouk, or a Lebanese garlic paste. Let me show you how I made it. You're gonna start by adding 1 cup of water to a small saucepan, and then you're gonna add your thickener. Traditionally, you can use 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. I opted to go for a swap for cornstarch, such as tapioca flour or tapioca starch, or you could also use arrowroot powder. You're gonna constantly whisk the tapioca and the water as you bring it up to a rolling boil. Once it's at a boil, you're gonna turn the heat to low, and then you're gonna turn off the heat once you notice that it has become kind of like a jelly-like transparent consistency, and it should be nice and thick with no lumps of white powder. You're gonna transfer that to a bowl and let it cool for 10 minutes. To a blender, you're going to add 3 tablespoons of plain yogurt or fresh garlic cloves. This is a garlic paste after all. Half a teaspoon of salt, 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice,